Hello, this is Pat Walker at MissionWinners.com, and I'm making a video for Tim. Tim, you bring up a good question, and we're going to give you an example here. Maybe we'll give you a couple of examples. How's that sound? We're taking a look at Goldman Sachs. I'm going to do the daily here. You can see right there where it gapped up. You see the little open mark right there? Here's an example. Gaps up. This won't be the perfect example, but it's going to get the point across because we didn't buy it till it took out this trigger. But again, there's a gap up there. Is there a spot? And again, it's a great question. You give the buy spot, okay? VEEV. Let's do VEEV, okay? We'll do VEEV, but we're going to do this one first. We're going to handle both of them. It gaps up. You can say, well, what do I do here? This is the daily chart. Here is a great tactic. Look at the daily, then take it to the hourly chart, and you can say, this is the first hourly bar. I'm going to do something for you that'll help. Right there. Here's what you can say on the hourly. If the price takes out the highs of this bar with decent volume, you could buy. What would be your stop? If it takes out the lows of this bar, this first hourly bar. Now, let's advance it one bar, and you can see it worked. It took off. You can say, well, that was easy. Well, it's not always so easy. I'm going to take it to the 30-minute chart. First 30-minute bar, heavy volume, Friday morning. Advance it. Here's the risk. It does this, and it takes out the highs of this bar, and it pulls back just a little bit. However, note the drop-off in volume. It went up on heavy volume and fell on less volume. That's constructive. This is a 30-minute chart. And then it wiggles out, it shakes people out, and then it takes off. Now here's the interesting thing. Right here, you can see that people, watch this, you can see that people were watching this. Goes up on good volume, quiet bar. You can say if it takes out the highs of this bar, it's a buy. And again, it takes out the highs of that bar. The next bar, it opens here, it drops, and then it takes out the highs of this bar. Look at the volume confirmation. That's the 30-minute gap up rule in place, waiting. I'm going to narrow it down for you further, though. All right? We're going to take a look at 10-minute. I love teaching this. You could say, okay, here's what I'm going to wait for. It goes up, starts to go sideways. You could say, until it takes out the tops of these bars, the high on this bar is 220.87. The high on this bar is 220.90. Some volume. Could you buy that there on that volume pickup? Yes, you could. But what's the real world, okay? If you buy that, you will say to yourself, if it takes out the lows of this bar, I need to be cautious. Advance it one bar. Goes up, but it doesn't take out the lows of this bar. And then it does. If you bought it, you could sell it there. Now, do you give up on it? No, you don't. And again, now we're looking at a 10-minute chart. You can say, if this goes back up and takes out the highs of these bars with volume, I can buy it. Now, here's the important part. We always take into consideration where we're going to sell it. If you buy it taking out the highs of these bars, if it takes out the lows of this bar or any following 10-minute bar, you got to sell. Well, look what it does. It takes out the high of this bar, and that's exactly what people were looking for. They're saying, hey, you know what? If it takes out the highs of this bar on volume, that's a good spot to buy on a 10-minute. That's the real world right there. This is Friday morning. Boom. By gum, they voted. Look at that. Is that sweet? That's what you're looking for. And it hangs in. Isn't that nice? There you go. And there's the day. There's the day. Just letting it work. So there, Tim, is the 10-minute rule, 10-minute gap up rule, 30-minute gap up rule, the real world. How you do it. Do I do this? You bet. You bet. Now, I'm careful doing it with VIPs because I don't want to turn this into day traders, which leads to another point. If you do this, stick with the hourly, 30-minute, and 10 minutes. Don't take it down to 5. And lean on that 10-minute, and you will do great. And I hope this helps you. It's a great question, and I thank you.